In this video, I want to share with you probably one of the best low-budget Facebook ad strategy for e-commerce and dropshipping. Let's go. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Jeffrey. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over, again as the title suggests, the best low-budget strategy for Facebook ads for e-commerce and dropshipping. So before we begin, I want to kind of give you guys a few disclaimers and tips. So this strategy is basically for testing purposes only to verify whether a product or creative is working or not. It's actually not a means to scale to high numbers to 2K a day, 3K a day, 4K a day and beyond. So just because it's not really consistent and you have to keep refreshing ads, so this is just going to be testing phase only. And you should already know how Facebook Ad Manager works. If you don't already know, I have a video which I'll link down below. I actually covered it in the video already. Basically covering from A to Z how Facebook Ad Managers work and how to set up a campaign yourself. But this is really good for getting data and to verify whether something works or not. So this is actually probably the best to really test things out and testing a product, testing a collection, or testing a new creative. Now another tip for you guys is to really take it slow, and especially with the scaling, because slow scaling usually means steady cash flow and less likelihood of chargebacks, refunds, and disputes, because the last thing you'd want is to have your money on reserve and a bunch of chargebacks and refunds so you don't have enough capital to continue with your ads. And in this particular video, we're going to be working with auto bid ad sets, ABOs for short, and not CBOs. I actually promised a CBO testing strategy, but at this point I just don't think it's worth it because ABO is much more safe. And as well as that, CBO is just not consistent with low budget. So we're going to be rolling with auto bids in this particular training and video, so bear with me on that. Just so you can get an idea of what we're going to go through, here's going to be a table of contents. So we're going to go through the Facebook ad strategy itself, when to turn off the ads, micro scaling, as well as that, the prospecting scaling, also known as the foreign countries scaling, and lookalike audiences. So now you can get an idea of what we'll be covering. So before we begin with the strategy, I also want to highlight a few terms just so you're not aware of what we're talking about. So VC basically means view content. It's just all of the people who viewed your content on the page, your landing page, your front page of your website, things like that. So add to cart is basically anyone who added to cart of the product or any other product that Shopify actually and Facebook actually tracks. So that's add to cart, very self-explanatory. Initiate checkout is everyone who initiated checkout, who press add to cart and actually about to enter their credit card information and their personal address and stuff like that. Lookalike audiences, LLA, is going to be lookalike audiences for Facebook, which is basically a custom audiences made on Facebook specifically that is based on the source audience that you give them. So for example, people who are similar to people who have added to a cart, view content, and things like that. And last but not least, we have purchase, which is PUR. We're going to be saying that quite a bit in this training and video, so now you understand. So in this particular strategy, we're going to be rolling with $5 a day ad sets, which is in USD. So if you're running in another currency like myself, be sure to convert it back to your own currency as well. So $5 a day ad sets in USD. And then we're going to be making 5 to 7 ad sets with 1 interest per ad set. So for example, if you're running a posture corrector, you'll be running 1 interest for poor posture, for health and wellness, and another ad set, and etc. etc. Okay, so for every ad set, we're going to have 1 creative per ad set. So 1 creative or 1 ad per ad set. I'm going to be showing you guys kind of visualization of what I mean, so don't worry. And then for the placements, we're going to do all placements, and the conversion window we'll do 7 days click or 7 days click or 1 day view. I actually prefer 7 days click instead, but it's really up to you. And for the particular creative, we're going to be using a post ID for social proof. If you don't know how to do that, I probably have the video down below, the A to Z Facebook mini course, so be sure to watch that video first if you're not really sure what to do or how to do it. You're going to be using post IDs for social proof, but it only works for still images or carousel. If you're using a slideshow of some sort of video, you'll probably have to make it on the spot first and then find it in your page post under your business manager. After you've done that, if you want to, this is completely mandatory, but it's actually suggested if you're running like a general store of some sorts. But basically you're going to be duplicating the campaign, keep everything else the same, but change the creative. So on the ad level, you're going to be changing the creative to another one. So if you're doing a video, maybe you could do another video, or you could do a carousel, you could do a picture, things like that. So you can kind of figure out which one works best for your audience, and then kind of scale if that product takes off from there. Okay, so as promised, I'm going to be showing you a visualization of what I mean. Okay, so hope you understand this and hope you are following along. So here in the C, this is where the campaign is. C denotes campaign. And then under the campaign, you're going to be seeing different ad sets. So A1, A2, A3, A4, A5 for 5 different ad sets. Ad set 1, ad set 2, and so forth. Okay, so under each ad set, you're going to have one creative. So C1, which means creative 1, right? And notice how it's all C1, right? So you're going to be using the same post ID. So it's basically just a little number that Facebook gives you, and you're going to copy and paste that particular ID, and then paste it in the section where it says copy and paste ID under existing post, which is under the ad level. And don't worry if you don't understand this, because I won't be going over in this video, because I actually have another video covered as mentioned, link down below. And as mentioned, we're going to be doing $5 a day. Now, if you have more of a budget, you can actually do $10 a day instead, which is going to be a lot more effective if you actually have the budget to do so. So everything else will just be the same. So campaign and ad set level, you have 5 different ads, 5 to 7. And then instead, under each ad set, you're going to be having 2 of the same creatives. So you're going to have one creative 1, and then you're going to duplicate that again, just so you can hit another pocket of people within that audience. So that's going to be a lot more effective. But in this case, we're going to be doing 2 of the same creatives under each ad set. And again, you're going to be using the same post ID for every of them, so you can have the social proof and the engagement attached to the particular creative. Okay? So now we're going to let it run, and we're going to go over micro scaling. Okay? So what you want to do is wait at least 3 to 4 days for it to optimize before really turning them off or doing anything with them. And usually if you haven't gotten a sale within 3 or so days, 3, 4, 5 days, you want to turn off the ad sets. You can actually go a bit earlier depending on the metrics. So you might look at cost per click, you might look at cost per impressions and things like that. So you might want to turn them off earlier depending on what kind of metrics you see. But this is basically the rule of thumb. And once an ad set gets about 1 to 2 sales, you want to kind of test other related interests as well. And this is actually called horizontal scaling, testing different pockets of people, different pockets of audiences, my bad. And what you're going to do is you're going to use Facebook's suggestions box and do your own research as well. So if you're doing research, I recommend using, of course, Google, our best friend, and Facebook Audience Insights. So you're going to type in the interest on the Audience Insights search bar, and then it's going to kind of populate a list of interests that are very similar. And you're going to be using those particular interests for your targeting as well. Okay, so you're going to let the ad sets run for about a week or so, and if it meets your target cost per purchase, so let's say it's $15 or so, and you're still profitable, you have a profitable ROAS, preferably 2+, a return on ad spend, you want to duplicate that ad set 3 times with the same budget. Okay, so basically if one of them works, you want to repeat the process and double the budget again. So if one $5 ad set works, you want to duplicate it 3 times and then put at $5. If one of those $5 works again after a few days, you want to duplicate it to $10. So $10 duplicated 3 times. This is what we call vertical scaling. So if that keeps working, you're going to duplicate it and double the budget. So $5, $10, $20, $40, $80, and so forth. Okay? And this is all going to be done under the same campaign. And what's that going to allow you to do is to acquire data and really get the data learning in the campaign level, which is going to be really good for collecting data and getting really quality traffic to your website. And later on, once you have about 100 businesses, we want to expand to foreign countries and lookalike audiences. So the requirement here is that you have to have at least 100 businesses data points in the US, because we're actually targeting US if you don't already know. So we're going to be creating lookalike audiences for the US specifically, because we already gathered the 100 purchase data points. So we're going to be doing VC, ATC, IC, and purchase, right? For a 180-day window, because we actually have the most data like that. And 180 days is actually the max that allows you. So you want to have the most amount for your conversion window. Okay, and you also want to expand to current foreign countries as well with tier 2 countries, we like to call it. It's going to be Australia, Canada, and UK. So you're going to be taking your best ad sets. So let's say you have the top 10 best ad sets. You're going to highlight them and then duplicate them into a new campaign, and then target basically Australia, Canada, and UK. And I know that sounds a bit confusing, but leave me a comment down below if you're kind of confused. I can kind of clarify for you further. And also comment down below if you want to have a full list, because I actually have a full list I got somewhere else that I'm testing myself as well. So make sure to comment down below as well if you want the full entire list. But tier 2 countries is going to be Australia, Canada, and UK, which is basically makes up for the big 5 English speaking countries. So that's about it for this video. If you want kind of a visual demonstration, be sure to comment down below as well. I can actually make another video on that. And as well as that, if you want the rest of the countries, the country list, also comment down below. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like the video, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. We are growing at a pretty steady pace, but we want to pick up the pace. And thanks for staying until the end. I'll see you in the next video. See you later.